So the biggest thing I've learned from having owned a Thermomix for just over 3 years is that it's complete rubbish. It's going to take away your enjoyment of cooking. As someone who loves to cook, I can categorically tell you that you will enjoy cooking even more with a Thermomix in your kitchen. And it's really no coincidence that it consistently features at the top of most chefs' wish lists. And it is in use in pretty much every Michelin-starred restaurant around the world. I'm a trained chef with a background with the Sitting Guilds in professional cookery, and I run my own food business. And I said no to the Thermomix for 5 years, and I realised I said no to it because I hadn't actually seen it in action and didn't really understand it properly. So that really is my gift to you now, is take the time and the opportunity with an advisor to find out about it and really understand it. I thought this machine would take away my love of cooking, which was the reason that I didn't buy one. When I saw it in action, I was absolutely blown away, and 3 months later I decided finally to invest in one, and I have never looked back. And with a Thermomix, I find I can just cook more. So, for example, with the super fast knead function, which kneads bread dough in 2 minutes, it means I can put fresh bread on the table every single day for my family. I would have never bothered doing that before. Using a Thermomix also removes the margin of error when you're cooking from things like advanced sauces such as a hollandaise or a béarnaise. Now, some might say that's part of the thrill of cooking, and that's absolutely fine if it's your bag. But personally, these days, I find I just don't have the time or energy in my life to worry about whether I'm going to have to rescue a hollandaise at the last moment. And yes, I'll let you into a little secret. Once I went through about 20 eggs trying to do that as well. So now I no longer need to stress out before a dinner party that my hollandaise is going to be messed up, because I have my sous chef in the kitchen to take care of that for me. So I very simply and smugly just add my ingredients into the Thermomix bowl. I program it for a thicker mode for 80 degrees. It comes on and it cooks me a perfect hollandaise in 8 minutes, which means that it frees up my time to focus on doing other things and other elements of the meal that I would rather spend my time on. Making choux pastry, another great example. It's a bit of a faff, to be honest, with a saucepan and lots of beating. And it's something I probably rarely would have cooked previously because I just didn't have the time really or the headspace to do it. But actually with a Thermomix, it will bring the water to the boil, it melts the butter, it stirs in the flour, it beats in the eggs, all in under 5 minutes. 5 minutes later, you have a perfect choux paste that you can still use your skills and techniques to pipe into perfect choux buns, but you've just had your sous chef doing it for you. I find that in general, food tastes much better with a Thermomix, and that is down to its precise ability to temperature control. You'll find that those onions are neither under or over, and actually homemade soups often promise so much but can be quite disappointing, and I think that's because people don't bring out that natural sweetness in the vegetables. But cooking soup in the Thermomix will allow you to do that, and it precisely sautés those vegetables at around about 100 degrees, and it just brings out that natural sweetness. So everybody always comments on how much different soup tastes from a Thermomix. In fact, I did a demo last year for a group of ladies, and they all commented that the creamy vegetable soup was better than anything they had tasted at Hambleton Hall. It was made in 20 minutes, and that was high praise indeed. So saying you don't need a Thermomix or you don't want a Thermomix because you love to cook is a bit like saying you don't want to own a car because you love to walk. Owning that car doesn't mean that you can't walk or can't choose to walk on occasion. It's about just giving you the choice. And owning a Thermomix is about often cooking just a little bit smarter and in a slightly different way, but you still get all of that enjoyment from the cooking process. It really doesn't take it away, it just enhances it. And really, the last thing I have to say to you is that the first thing all of my customers say to me on the day that their Thermomix arrives, or if not shortly afterwards, is that they wish they'd have done it the day they saw it. I can hand on heart tell you, this is the best investment you will ever make, and you'll have an awful lot of fun with it as well.